Okay, course 2, study guide 4, page 2, number 10. How many quarts in a half gallon? Well, there's several ways to do it. If you think about it, kind of the way I approached it is that there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So if you have a half a gallon, then if you divide both of these by 2, then you have 2 quarts in a half a gallon. Now that's not the only way to do it. That's just the way that I approached it. I thought that was a little bit easier. Number 11 says write 24% as a fraction in lowest terms. Well, anytime you take a percent sign off, percent is based on 100. So 24 over 100 is the fraction, but we're going to have to divide by 4 over 4, and we'll get 6 over 25. So you want to be sure and reduce it anytime you have a fraction. Number 12, what is the probability of getting an even number when you roll one number cube? Well, when you roll one number cube, you got 6 answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's look at the even ones. You've got 2 and 4 and 6. So 3 out of the 6 are even, and then when you reduce that, divide by 3 over 3, you get 1/2 probability. Find the next 4 terms of the sequence. There's a couple of ways of looking at this. I would think most of you would say to get from 1 to 4, you're adding 3. From 5 to 9, you're adding 5. From 9 to 16, you're adding 7. So you're adding odd numbers here. So plus 9 would be 25. Plus 11 would be 36. And S for 4, didn't it? So plus 13 would be 49. And plus 15 would be 64. Now let me show you another way to see that. If you remember when we talked about perfect squares, numbers that you can take the square root of, these are your perfect squares. You can take the square root of 4, 9, 16, and then, so these end up being 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, and then 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, and 8 squared is 64. That may not be the way you see it. That's fine, but that's just 2 patterns. You can either see it by addition or you can see it by doing perfect squares. In expanded form, they want us to take our place values. So the 3 is in 10,000's place. So I've got 3 times 10,000. I like to put that in parentheses. You don't have to because of order of operation. Plus, then you've got the 4 in thousands place. And again, you could use dots here instead of X's for multiplication. And then you've got the 2 in hundreds place. And you don't have a number, zeros in tens place, so we'll just skip that one. And then we've got 5 in ones place. And that's all you have to do to it to get it in expanded form. Find the value of the variable. So you've got 5 plus x plus 9 equal 25. Well, if I put the 5 and 9 together, I get 14 plus x is 25. So if I know what added to 14 will give me 25, I can do a little subtraction here, and I get 11. So 14 plus 11 is 25. Now this one you have to be real careful about. You've got 35 divided by x is 5. Let's write it as a division problem. X is what you're dividing by. I'm actually just going to put that as a blank there. And you're dividing into 35, and you need an answer of 5. So the question is, what times 5 is 35? Well, we know that 7 times 5 is 35. It goes evenly. So x in this case is equal to 7. Number 17. There were 3,211 horses in a corral. The rancher removed some of the horses. There were 545 left in the corral. How many horses did the rancher remove? So he had 3,211. And if we take away what he had left in there, that will tell how many he took away. Got some borrowing. 5 from 1 you can't take, so we'll borrow from that 1 and get 11 minus 5 is 6. You can't take 4 from 0, so again we'll borrow from the 2, and 4 from 10 is 6. Can't take 5 from 1, so we'll borrow from the 3 and make it 2. 5 from 11 is 6, and then 2 minus 0 is 2. So he took out 2,666 horses. Mary bought 2 dozen juice bars for 32 cents each. What was the total amount she paid? Well, let's look at a couple of things. A dozen is 12, so 2 dozen is 24 juice bars, and they were 32 cents each. Cents is much easier in math class to write it like dollars. Put .32, so 32 cents written with a decimal point, it's much easier to do the multiplication. So let's come over here and do 24 times 0.32. So I've got 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 4 is 12, carry 1, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Don't have to do the 0 because they're just going to line up as 0. So I've got 8, 4 and 2 is 6, and 7, and then I get my 2 decimal places. Now, if you just write 768, that's 768 cents, which is a true answer, but never over $1 do we say we have. We don't even for $1 say 100 cents. We say when you got 99 cents and then you jump and you say $1 and then $1.10 or whatever. So with this case, it's much better to do it with dollars and the decimal point. The jar was 43% full of water. What percent of the jar is empty? Well, the total jar is 100%. So if you have 100% minus 43%, so again we got to do some borrowing. 3 from 0, borrow from the 10. 3 from 10 is 7. And 4 from 9 is 5. I jump ahead to my answer. And so there's 57% left over. 43% full, 57% empty. Number 20 says write 20 over 6 as a mixed number in lowest terms. Now you could reduce this to start with by dividing by 2 over 2, but I think it's easier just to go ahead and write it as the mixed number. So we're not going to add zeros here. We're going to say 6 goes into 18 3 times. 3 goes into 20 18 times. I keep getting ahead of myself. And then 18 from 20 is 2. So our remainder is 2 over our divisor of 6. Well, we can divide by 2 over 2. And we get 3 and 1/3. And that's your mixed number in lowest terms.